ton of you asked me to do the perfect palette tag, and I was hesitant at first to do it because when I don't like something, I'll return it or I'll pass it down. And I usually pass it down to my sister-in-law or my cousin, sometimes my mom. So I was like, oh, well, I'm not gonna be able to answer any of these questions if I've already gotten rid of the palette. And I don't wanna just sit here like, ooh, let me talk to you with nothing in my hand. It makes no sense. But luckily, I went through my stash just recently and I purged out a lot of old makeup and things like that, things that I'm not using or that I don't want or whatever. So I can successfully do this tag with stuff that I have in my possession. This tag is so awesome because it asks you several questions about all of your palettes, and it doesn't say eye palettes, so I kind of put my own spin on things. It's a palette tag. So I included a blush palette and a face palette in here too, and I hope you'll forgive me. But I just took it as a palette in general. So the very first question in this tag is which one has the best packaging? And for me, that doesn't mean travel. It doesn't mean, you know, shatter resistant. It just means packaging in general. Which packaging do you like? And nothing excites me more than using anything from NARS. I love their packaging. Their packaging is like sleek. It's rubberized. It looks so like chic and elegant and just amazing. This is the Bourdin blush palette. Yeah, I said it in my French accent. And this is the limited edition blush palette that came out just recently. But look at the packaging. How amazing is that? It's just so beautiful. It's like rubberized and sleek. It just has this like, I don't know, fanciness about it. So this is definitely anything from NARS to me has really awesome packaging. Even if it gets smudged and dirty or whatever, still the best for me. And number 2 is Best Color Payoff. You guys saw my Vice 2, my Urban Decay Vice 2 palette review. You saw how excited I was about it. These colors, seriously, newborn baby tears in a palette. That's how pigmented they are. They are just the best color payoff that I have seen in a really long time. Very little to no fallout, just amazing. Number 3 is most versatile. Which one gives you the most use, bang for your buck, can give you multiple looks, whatever. I gave it to a few of my favorite things from Too Faced. This is their holiday palette. And the only reason I gave it to them is because they have all of these eyeshadows on top and then all of these face products on bottom. So obviously you can get a ton of looks, you can get a full face look out of this. So it's definitely very versatile. It has matte shades, it has shimmer shades, and it has dark colors and light colors. So most versatile for versatile to Too Faced, a few of my favorite things. Number 4, best for travel. Obviously, I think every single palette tag I've watched says the LORAC Pro To Go. If you watch my what's in my travel makeup bag, this is one of the only items that I take with me. This palette is so amazing because it has everything in one and it folds up into a really small palette. So it's always really cool, really useful, really practical. The colors in here are silky, amazing, no fallout, just perfect. The bronzer is my perfect shade. The blushes are perfect. They're not shimmery, they're matte. It's just a all in all best palette I've seen in a really long time, especially for travel. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but if you guys keep your stuff stored like me in smaller drawers, this could be a pretty chubby palette. I actually store it like this. I open it like that and I store it flat. So it saves a lot of room. So there's a tip for you guys. Number 5, your biggest regret. And this one I was a little nervous to talk about because after I did my Instagram giveaway of tell me your favorite palette, like 90% of you said the Naked 2. And that is actually my biggest regret. The Urban Decay Naked 2 palette is my biggest regret of all the palettes that I've ever purchased. If you guys were to see a close-up of this palette, some of these shadows haven't even been tried. I never used this palette. I used it once to swatch and twice to try and do an eyeshadow look with it. And that's it. I've never used it again. The brush is untouched. Some of the shadows are untouched. It's my biggest regret. This is $52 that are just sitting there. Number 6, best color names. Best color names I have to give to Pati Drubroff's Perfect Palette, and this is a palette from Costco. This palette is amazing. If you guys like the In the Light Stila palette, this is very similar. I would almost say a dupe. But the only reason I like this palette, not only are the shadows incredible, they're like buttery soft, but all of the names have food names. It's so strange. For example, one is called parfait, shiitake, like a mushroom, bellini, praline. So it kind of speaks to the chef in me, which if you guys don't know, I am a chef. So it speaks to the chef in me. I really love this palette. It's a great palette all around, super affordable. If I didn't have the Naked palette, or if I didn't have the, which other palette? Any neutral palette. If I didn't have any neutral palette, this one is holy grail status. It's such a great palette. Number 7 is least used. And I know you guys are going to crucify me right now, but the LORAC Pro palette. I bought this palette last year. Like last year, before I moved, before I had my YouTube channel, I bought this palette last year and I have never used it. I haven't swatched it. I haven't used it. I don't even remember I have it sometimes. It is brand new, untouched. I don't even have the box for it anymore, but it's never been used. Like, it is brand new. I never use it. So I had to give this the least used. I don't know why I never use it. This is everyone's favorite palette. I've never used it. And the last one, number 8, most loved, what is it? Most used, most loved, and deserted island. I have to give it to my Naked palette. I am obsessed with my Naked palette. My Naked palette is just my favorite palette in the whole world. It matches my skin tone perfectly. I can get so many looks out of it. It was one of my very first high-end makeup purchases. I am just nostalgically attached to this palette, and it's just a great palette all around. So this palette is something that I would recommend for anyone starting to get into makeup and you want that special treat, or you want that high-end product that you're always going to reach for. Get one of the Naked palettes. You know, obviously some of you prefer the Naked too. I prefer the Naked palette. So this is definitely a palette that is forever gonna have my heart. Like, literally, if I hit pan on one, I'm going to replace it with a brand new palette. That's how much I love this palette. And that's it for the perfect palette tag. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. It's I really enjoyed this tag because it made me go through my stuff and really think about it, like, gun to my head status, which of these palettes is my favorite, which of these palettes has the cutest names. I actually had to like do some homework for it, you know, so I really liked that part. So thank you to my wonderful subscribers for tagging me to do this palette. I really hope you enjoyed it. And I think that's it, guys. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, this coffee break is over. Bye, guys.